Hello and welcome to the Them Frames YouTube channel. In this video, we're looking at the do's and don'ts of street portraits. Okay, so the reality is the ethics and morals of street portraits will never be set in stone. Everyone has got their own kind of ideas on the right and wrong way to approach street portrait photography. But I've been doing this for around about 10 years now, approaching strangers on the street and asking if I can make their portrait. Here are my do's and don'ts of street portrait photography. First up, we say do send the subject the image. Now, I've seen some street portrait photographers in interviews on podcasts and YouTube and things like that say that they don't send the image. They've said it's not part of their process and it's a personal thing for them and they don't share it. I just completely disagree with this, respectfully. And that's because, look, the energy between two people is a wonderful thing. And for the person that's made your portfolio larger by agreeing to stand in front of your lens, then they deserve to have a memory of that as well. It can't just be a one-way stream. So it's also going to be a cool moment for them, and giving them something tangible, even if it's in a digital format, is going to be a beautiful memory that they can keep for the rest of their lives. And remember, that's the day that you went up and said, hey, you are worthy, you're enough, you are cool, and I want to photograph you. That doesn't happen to people every day. And giving them a visual reminder of that is, well, for me, it's what street portrait photography is all about. Okay, so the next one is a don't, and I'm really passionate about this. Don't over-edit. I see so many videos of street portrait photographers approaching a subject and saying, hey, you're cool, you're beautiful, I like your style, can I take a portrait photograph of you? They agree, they edit the photo, and it looks like it's been chewed up and spat out by Photoshop. I'm talking unnaturally vibrant eyes, stupidly soft skin, just really over-editing the actual image. Think about what message that sends. You've told someone that in their natural form, you think they're brilliant, and then you deliver an image to them that is so far removed from reality. Send them in their most natural form as possible. That's not to say don't edit. It's okay to make adjustments, but hey, come on, remember why you photographed them in the first place. Now, the next do in street portrait photography may be slightly controversial, but it shouldn't be. And that is, do photograph children. Because I understand in our world where there are some terrible people, and we're more aware of those terrible people thanks to 24-hour news and the internet, it makes us hesitant, especially if we're men, to obviously photograph children on the street. Now, there's of course a caveat to that, and that is obviously do it with permission. Approach the parent and say, hey, this is who I am. This is what I do. I think your kid looks amazing right now, and I would like to make a portrait for you. The parents love pictures of their kids, and also have some work ready on your phone so you can show them and say, hey, look, here are some examples of the kind of images I've made before, and it helps build trust. So, of course, get consent, get permission, and once the parents said yes, that's only half the consent. Don't just start taking pictures of the child. Ask the child if it's okay. Show them your camera, get them curious, and make sure they're feeling comfortable as well. Because, look, kids are some of the best subjects we will ever find, and it's a shame that many of us are avoidant of photographing them because of the horrible, horrible people in our world. Okay, so the next don't is don't just photograph beautiful women, okay? Like, look, we get it. There are some absolute supermodels in our world, which subjectively society would say, yeah, they're the beautiful women of humanity. Okay, that's just how it is. It's the same with men too. But don't just build a portfolio of beautiful women. It seems very disingenuous. And I'm not saying don't photograph them. Of course, they deserve to be approached as well. But we've got so much wonderful diversity in our society, and beauty comes up in different ways. And I see a lot of these street portrait photographers on YouTube just wanting to get the clicks because we know that it sells, and they're just approaching kind of model level women, let's make sure all of humanity feels included in our street portrait workflow. And you just get a more interesting body of work over time then. You know, after I've looked at one standard beautiful woman after the other, I get bored. But when I see a street portrait photographer that's showing me all of humanity's glory, all of its quirks, all of its subcultures, all of its identities, then things get so much more interesting. So keep that in mind. Okay, so the next one is do keep trying. Now, I know it's difficult to approach strangers and ask if you can make their street portrait. You get nervous. You don't want to get rejected because if you do, it breaks your heart, your knees go weak, you fall to the floor, you start crying and you shout for your mother. Okay? I get it. So if you approach someone and they say no, it's easy just to put your head down and walk off. Don't give up on the first attempt. Reiterate who you are. Make sure that compliment's in there. Say, hey, look, you're cool. I understand it's a bit of a weird request and why you'd say no, but I honestly think I can make a really nice street portrait of you and I think you'll like it. And remember to use that first do. Make sure there's an incentive for them and say, hey, I'll send it to you and it's yours. And if you like it, the worst that happens is you've got a nice street portrait of yourself. Of course, if they say no a second time, leave it. We don't want to be harassing people. We certainly don't want to be pushing people. And we don't want to make people feel uncomfortable. Everyone just wants to go about their day in the best way possible without being harassed by photographers trying to build their portfolio. But a second follow-up is fine as long as you do it in the right way. And my final do is do enjoy street portrait photography. So many photographers overthink it. They worry, they get nervous, they get stressed. What are we doing here? It's not that important at the end of the day. It's just a lovely way to pass the time. It's a great way to make friends with new people. You know, there are some, not all, but there are some people who I've photographed candidly, randomly, street portraits who I still speak to today, you know, in one way or another, whether it's on social media, WhatsApp, sometimes we meet up for a coffee. Enjoy it because it's just a great way to experience this world and build your confidence and do something that you really love. Make photographs. So keep that in mind. Enjoy street portrait photography. Okay? Well, that brings this video to an end. I'm actually interested. What are some of your do's and don'ts in street portrait photography? Let me know in the comments. And also hit a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Please do subscribe and tap the bell icon so YouTube lets you know when I next post a video. Until the next one, I'm Dan. This is Them Frames. See ya.